Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I say them yopo.
Mema obi biara kwaba eba PENDREAM TV. Say na your first time oha and we are new to the channel. Subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so like it jumadi na share ma afofran so ensa enkabi. Al-Wahab Farouk ede ensembe atuja efa kuya esi ewo Guinea a also trend on social media and also media platforms in the world. Now Al-Wahab Farouk ede another expose abatuja all blasted ECOWAS say ECOWAS among ntotoye among ntoto ye amaku asi ewo Niger or sende warning Emma Ghana and afenso no Africa as a whole ochese more coup d'etats is going to happen in Africa. Me peso beka me ho na yakotie ensema Al-Wahab Farouk ade abetuja na me answer na beka no subscribe to channel na click the notification bell no so like jumadi na share ma afofron so ensa enkabi. Comment section ho na wachre wadwe yentie ensema Al-Wahab Farouk ade tuja
na ya musa wo ene ya da sore ya ku nu ni aka se sigini esi Burkina esi Mali ankenu anu no ya da sore ya Niger team asamaba ama ho nsensem bebre na wodwani ade akire ade asemu papa.
Okay mention it here for
Joso
and it has a platform so coups in Africa. Coups in Africa, especially West Africa. Let us not forget, say, in the 70s, there was coup d'etats all over. In the 80s, there were coup d'etats all over. In the 90s, there were coup d'etats all over. Until, say, end of 1990s, and then early part of the 2000s. And Sana coup d'etats ever stop. Kakra. For the last 13, 15 years a day, one would say it's a relatively West Africa, and a predominantly larger part of the African continent, and a coup and yet too much at their episode until recently, as I started view. Where are we from? Say Overwatch here. In fact, my background noise in the back.
Papa Kafra Fache.
I'm feeding it very loud. Okay, so Overwatch here. French West Africa. A quanya French for a passo at the tea room. A quanya omofaso di a bufu. And the Mao independence 2 days after one another, out of anger, following Ghana, your friends and independence 1957. Ghana, Dr. Nkrumah said independence to the African, and precisely he was referring to his neighboring countries, West Africa, meaningless unless there is a total liberation. At that time, British and the French. Now, am I a little bit hesitant? No, am I very, very, very alarmed and worried? And to show interestingly, the Ghana gained independence in 1957, and a French West Africa started the heat. And when they started the heat, any agitation, the first country to start, Guinea, Cȯup.
Right.
And Cȯup was the beginning and then the founder of all the, if you can call it, coup d'etats. At the time, the independence, no book, any pen or the year, what the pressure arising out of the Ghana Kwame Nkrumah's declaration and the friendship they had at the time, and what the coup. Now, what the independence. Short time or about 23 or something years across his time, Omomi independence, Sekou was the only person with him called beyond 20 years. Oma Kenya post independence for Nina, Obiako 6 years, Ebiko 8, 6, 8, Nigeria, Ghana, Omina 6, 8, 9, 6, 8, 9, and Kuno started way back in the 1960s. Now, for a country Niger in perspective, although Niger, for the past 1960, since 1960, no independence, 11 head of states now, only about 2 baako no Madam Fo Mamadou Yusufu omu na na ye
democratically elected
democratically elected omu aka ni nyina you can name them after Hamani Jerry ebedi 13 years odini 13 years only the post independent omu tu no Senyi Kwanti obedi 13 years omu tu no Ali Sebu otu Senyi Kwanti onsusu wiye no Osmani ebedi 3 years onsusu ye tu no Ibrahim Barry Chobekaya only the assassinate no crowd office assassinate no office that one kid odi kum ayi wiye no okum your friend say Mamadou Usman wiye no odi saying the only 255 days has the same and also so no omutu no what I say and consistently ebedu Mamadou Isufu so no on the call 2 terms any 10 years uchani 10 years pepepe and what the man Mohamed Bazoum we say ya ono no the first 5 years na o man ti asem but the whole thing is a political class of the Fulanis make Fulanis are the red Nigerians and Niger for now origin of like Algeria for no na debia for all these years no then try say the country no so and the military form so I could say the Asian Ghana now sabi the military was reserved only for a certain tribes because we will be ampe and from to military anymore and these are the people everywhere the Niger government, the elite government, and then the political class and the Bunim, they don't respect them. They do not respect them. Sure. South Algeria, almost southeast, almost border with Niger on the Haga Plateau, Nuswa. Algeria town of Jeanette, Ufi Jeanette, Eba Niger site, the northern tip of Niger, Tamara set, Arlet, Asamaka. All the way through up to Jeanette, Agadas. Papa, there's a Tinisuina insurgents groups in Kwani Gusu. Oman is stretched to the eastern side at the Cȯup, Mali. Oman also to be in the Chad. Into that area, Jeanette side, Haga Plateau, Nuso, added the northern part in a botched. Oman also and the military man, Oma Bedi Nyame. But they are seen as minority tribes. Usha Woma, you have 2 tribes, major tribes in Niger. Your black ones, Buzu Fono, and you the Fulanis. Fulani form crane Kokonom Siskano, and the Buzu form crano, and the Tuntum. Tuntum Fono, Oma Busu and 4 massive for the Kosuja. And now Koko forms to such an office. We say Bazu Seno, Omi Algeria former. Omana then Fulani from Algeria region. Omo in Shada. My military for no a face, and they are always very angry. But interestingly, the anger sparkling of the West African coup d'etat, it has to do with the French culture. Because
French wanted here or Modema, Yenuano Mombefa, so South Cote d'Ivoire, Ofa Niger for Mali, Ofa Burkina Faso. Sa wanted here the moment and Momo Peku, you know.
Yeah, because shall I deal with you? Yen independence in 1957. It took here 3 years and Sana British for crowd MIA constitution and then we became a republic. Look at it. So the French, the story was not different. Normally they didn't let them have their republic. French foreign can say you caught out of anger and your independence. Obian sign said you will still use the French constitution of the 60%. Now, Mama for 40, Mobati Asiana, because say, now we here independence, Romina Sane, who was Sane, how many your friends idiots, Omina Sane, and that constitution till today, using the French 60% against the country's native country 40%. Oma abolish it, no. You haven't abolished it. And see, the time had come. Emma Bufuaba, but a quiet French for also Emma Womusa countries in woman independence. Don't forget, woman used 1 year 1960. And woman come in a boom, and woman by independence out of anger. Oma we April, Côte d'Ivoire, Oma Côte d'Ivoire July 1960, no ama Togo April 1960, no ama Mali June 1960, Benin 1st August 1960, Burkina Faso 5th August 1960, Niger 1st October, and only Guinea only 1950. The 1950 French were Guinea independence or withdraw it. Anything up to now, no, only Guinea, one man require man journey safer zone because of Guinea's friendship of freedom coma. And if you say countries, you know, all boys are being in the military, and no man say no. Political class now, Oma line the man French, you know. We cannot continue to do that. Gentlemen, 60% of your revenue deposit in Paris. If you put up the accounts of all the French countries, all West Africa, Paris, and I said that France, that amount, if shared to all the French countries, they are multi-billionaires since independence 1960 till now. Assume you said Ghana from 1957, you see that the UK. And the boys are aware. And the French are still stimulating the same kind of the political system. Roman said, look here, they best start to dispose of the constitution. So when the constitution is thrown out there, it gives them a chance to start another republic.
So it is more of a boys and no more military and me tie a speech Burkina Faso guy, no, if I am correct. Traore do call Russia no. Me tie ni speech o man yes colonialism and imperialism. And no can we be tina and they want to take you over a country no. Eti French for no or mumpe a year sa debia wamudo musika kogu a year France and ya didn't tina kuno asha take you off a year the current leadership no.
More is coming. And he said
more is coming.
Yeah. More is coming. And he said Mali Goita we call it the bluff of the French.
Asimi Goita.
We call it the bluff of the French. He said you use French as an official language anymore. A language now they are trying to draft the Jura or the Winnie language. Now they are adding at their official language. Traore boy born in 30-something year old boy.
35 years.
35. Also through French. Now Burkina Faso, Mosi is coming to rule of an official language. They said the East Africans, you know, Kenya Muyebino. They are not respecting the French. In the thousand of any, he said, coup, NC, Niger, Abra Burkina Ayeku, Mali Ayeku, Guinea Ayeku. And look at those boys. All these boys sitting in a French legionnaire army. They are French legionnaire. And they're saying, and I'm saying, not cool lead for civilian leaders, you know. If our boys were able to protect them, no. And no more what is called special forces. Nana, the obedience and one abicha.
So Jatana wa mote te wa mono. Ana ne Jatana wa sa echi wa muangasa area.
Because she Dumboya my good friend. Dumboya Ufano special forces. And now didn't join French troops, legionnaire, and would do French Yifuachi, Edeko Afghanistan, Eko as a French combative a military officer, Abroche Niger uniform. Greater French for Edenoko, Afghanistan. I get me. Omi special forces are civilian governments in the protective woman. In this Russia, interestingly, in all these coup d'etats, LC West Africa now, no. Why you come nipa? Why? Because special forces for now, Omni a president in the hall. Into Mabufoba, ni acho, sign it, they do wash them, what take over, you throw the constitution away. But interestingly, which you cry, the one who went through constitution, no. Abdurrahman Wena, Nigerian, one to answer constitution, no. On one assuming home, echo 5 years, home term, the mandate straight away. Because we'll see the safeguard, National Council of Safeguard of the Homeland. Into answer constitution now, Mamadou issue for Modiano, one seno. One said Bozum Median, just say they are not happy with the civilian government. Over to was you the rule. It is straight that one day after 5 years. No, go to the Okazo 2 years. Also, you could back to back. And Burkina Namiba, also by one Omopam Nona, we Traore, also could, but also the response are the natives and the citizens in their shame, starting from Dumboya. Na kwahwe niema Dumboya eye ni Guinea as against Lassana Conte, as against your friend is saying Alpha Conde eye. The boy within this short time, Shaniama wa yenti ECOWAS te ho. And amuye dede.
Yababa ECOWAS sanction so. But yansha the world political structure. Yafa impositi no African continent no. Yes. There is a case where Okasa will say France were more you can say influence over the certain African countries and then they ama this is a case where the world politics, the power structure is changing, the dynamics are changing. Over first and now America and the West, or the unipolar superpower. Then they becoming more or less a multipolar, where there is Russia, there is China. That changing of the world power, no, no having effect on the West African soil and Adia.
Okay, this is the case. In the case of world politics, who say Europeans, Americans in the US so almost 100 years. Europeans in the US 100 years. The UN still a stagnant world organization up to now. Yes, so politicized by countries. It taking unilateral decision, and yet about 180 members and the association and as organization. Obitimi sorry do open. America was removed the road of world police will be an country or Koyadia disregard for UN. Now, the UN Security Council of the five, Russia, China, UK, the French, and the American. Omu say, Yeniana, the overlords, the Abakan Ubin can be Yati. America, one colonized countries. Apart from Kakran or North Africa, American, only colonies be a Panama money in island getting Pacific, Solomon Island, or Gigiano, and getting or United States and what the baby, and was starting assuming the rule, not the power, and what the rule areas. UK, or no, and France, they are the cause of some of these world's problems. Because on almost all over the world. And will colonize UK be colonized about 33 to 34% of the African region. And France also be colonized about 36% of the African region. Portuguese for just only 6. And Spanish for being and Arab for almost half French business self-determination, Libya, Nigeria, Libya, Egypt. And Russia, it was the same thing Asia. Portugal, China, Macau, Fao. And I could say, down, Yabenya superpower beer, also the China, Obetima feed me. Abra don't need to be fed by the UK.
So they are creating alliances.
They are creating alliances. We are talking today. The world has warned, as it used to be in the case. British would have warned, Museveni, don't step on Russia soil. But now, no, Museveni, or not Nasu, are bracing everything on Putin. In spite of the world listening against him, only needing come succumb to our aid, because historically, no, more fight boy independence is not the colonial masters who gave independence. And the world politics have shifted. And the white superpowers, and I said the super imperialist governments, they seem not to get it. France feels said, Obetim authoritative said, oh, yeah, Côte d'Ivoire. Sure. And then, the two, Laurent Gbagbo, after the 2 terms, or tries and Quebec third term, the French said no. And no, the man, Soron Guillaume, who timid rebels, they divided Côte d'Ivoire into 2. Our chance for 10 years, or Che Wake, up to Danani in the north of a Kronofa. Leading to the elections are now last Watara way back because of the mother or father who is an Ivorian, qui est Ivoirian, politique Ivoirité. Omi introduces an Alasa Watana Kunti Makruma president. after your prime minister your friend is Hufui. Now, Shasa Watara Bedi Ade, undoubtedly, to me, is the best in terms of development after Hufui. Now, Oko first 5 years successfully, second 5 years successfully, in Washington and Sanu Akotan in Chain. Alasan Watara was able to change the constitution, said, on constitution, first 2 terms, no, and no return with one party. In the case of, let's say, His Excellency Nana Dankwa for the
NPP, yes.
Well, you had 8 terms, maybe. Nemo Betima Jumpo, Ako joining CPK, another party. Lord, you know, Sababe, San Oyeno, Wetima succeed upon 3 terms. Match of French Wakasa. No.
So in this case, you know, the same idea, Loeng Babo, yeah, may 2 no. And no Watara yeah are French for anyway because he is their protege and he works in favor of them.
Okay, and 1, 2, Domboya, the young man who was a general at the age of 36. Look at his colonel. Look at the acceleration. What they call military power. Now Ogade Alpha Kundi. I'm more or less because I know of because we one time. Or yeah, the special forces, you know. Alpha Conde, I didn't know French, training, you know. Boy, the bit even on electricity. A guerrilla fighter. Oh, yeah, you know. Alpha Conde, who tried in the first 10 years, you know. Only the first elected democratic president in the case after Secretary. Last country, 24 years, Secretary, 20 something years. Only democratically elected. But Alpha Conde now was G. Power said, oh, yeah, the first elected. On the kind of buy and say 6 years constitution, no what, young 5 years. We tried 5 years, you know, 10 years, and or change the constitution, and we did boy away, pull the opposition leaders. So I got 3 term, and I bought anything I said, no, yeah, to give you a so okay, Papa. Maso, also about 2 terms, you know. Is it different from the Mali? Also trying 2 terms, we are what the man about boy. Is it different? And look at it. Blaise Compaoré, mess will create Burkina Faso since Okum Sankara. No fee said he would do what or the Obasanjo forever. And Côte d'Ivoire, Blaise Compaoré cannot identify his wife. He cannot identify, say, who know Janwi. Oh, Busa Blaise Compaoré. Adriana Parkinson's, the brain echo off. The only name of Timmy Bo, Thomas Sankara, on the qua. On the Sankara Biani, there's a question will be so be an Moses Sankara about him. Look at what it is. He's no more human being. What they know to us is a crown, on Jimmy Nancy, who can't come in why dead. You see, French for a dinachi, a man in some money, or killing opposition, or your BBR. Where is your ECOWAS?
So it is established that before say cool in your mobile corner, then there is some backing of a certain world superpowers. There is a case where somebody like Yevgeny Prigozhin, our no a Wagner group of Russia, were commanding the coup plotters of Niger. Say wamuku no, in fact a papa na a demonstrate a liberation from imperialism and colonialism. Is that a case to say that Russia is behind the coup going on in the West African sub-region, Anna?
I don't want to say Russia. The boys are not mad. Omenim frye. In the case of Burkina, say, O President Kabore Ochoho, na insurgents abeguho, omo pretty. Omukum California that day. Now soldiers about say is looking bad on our face. Say we cannot defend the people because the commander-in-chief is not giving us the chance. The commander-in-chief is not giving us the ammunition to go and do this. If we look bad, sanity there, year 2. That was the case of Burkina. Who comes to say, me mama, me papa, me village, you'll be my machine no uncle. Now you will soldier new creature near Kuno, or Muntimi attack it. That was the case of Burkina Faso. The case of Mali was not different because she said from Timbuktu, France for them post Gaddafi dead. Omuba the Mali Gao area when you know, then I am mineral resources and number 5. And the Goeta was part with the French at the time because we're normally call Afghanistan. So he knows what they've done. And to now can't buy One who Mali has never seen one day. They don't kill themselves. See the bay to see the bay. Konate to Konate, they don't kill themselves. The family in Bibia and Tuonkuno or Tuno no the natural chain. It is there like that. And to Woma Betnas study the system said the problem of these French countries is the French. In the sanitary there. Any government to be a French in the back, no, we will take you out. We don't want you. It has nothing to do with the Wagner. Any another thing. Say Wagner and more munitions, so say Wagner and more no. I do not want to know. But some of us, from what we have seen and what we know on the continent, especially the ECOWAS region, it is the failure of the ECOWAS itself. Since 1975, we have not made the ECOWAS work. And the Yama citizen, Senegal, the only country in West Africa since independence in 1960, are when you coup. In recent time, an old man, Abdouad, Obedi Senegal, the best in the history of Senegal, within 10 years of Koyeno, Shanyama, Papaniyano, Ukrumho. The political son, Obio Trenino, as you said, His Excellency Nanado, His Excellency Baumia, so on succeeding or no. When your friend is saying, Macky Sall was the presidency in Manuel French foreign Macky Sall were in alliance and on protection. Abdouad old man and no 82 years and watching. Papa Nigeria or Bawaman Neba Karim up to now without the jail. You see, why is the French not talking? Now, Macky Sall, the same time now, Abdouad, also a man third term, no, Macky Sall are trying to introduce, seeing the first time in the history of Senegal, a bigger demonstration at Omar District because of what? Ousmane Sonko, a 41-year-old boy, or a Casaman's boy, who be a person or a day, or support to say, what do 8 years we are, 10 years we are caught. And in a consideration, where is Sonko now? Or the jail? Has the ECOWAS spoken? Answer is no. Have they seen it? Answer is yes. They are not talking.
But in this case, ECOWAS is saying that a year Niger for almost 7 days. Say, I'm hand you over.
Mama Mincho, ECOWAS, we need that. ECOWAS, officer those times, you create ECOMOC by Abacha or the Nigerians can be Ghana, 1 CD, I'll bet Madam donate. Sierra Leone or Capre, Mother Bioska, Adam Abari, or no 10:30, and you may we are 2 canoa that will yan or Oscar the bed on 80 or troop or the Baba. And as our countries in our ECOWAS, more strong army on Bakuya Mali on support ECOWAS. Oman Baku Guinea on support ECOWAS. Oman Baku Niger on support ECOWAS. Ghana troops never call Ekutuna and Ahani Kutu Niger. And of this, Jimmy. Oh, command in 7 days. Let me tell you, no sanctions. Quote me. No sanctions in ECOWAS had ever worked because me who African country Ghana ni 2 cities or Diama Togo Busia. Me who Ghana ni city or Diama Benin. Nigeria of Almighty. Our West Kano. Same country or West Africa. Nigeria about Busia.
But talk of Nigeria, Bob Bessiano, Nigerian president, Tinubu, Bola Tinubu, said they are going to fight head on with a coup and Yemei. Is that not a commitment enough?
Papa, winning BB, the Fred BB team talk on the diplomatic circle. They meet on the table, drink tea, and go. Agreements are never signed, protocols are never sent. Everybody is just like they dream on the ECOWAS table. And dreaming on the table no, is free of charge. You don't pay for dreams. But realities will pay for them. Tinubu, ECOWAS is serious, sir. With all due respect, President sworn in yesterday, Onyanya in the cabinet, only the minister, Bako, apart from service commanders or assassin, or rolling in ministry, we have to go and listen neighbor. Which my ECOWAS said, are you serious? As a country, as a continent.
Ghana and Nigeria, you're careful.
I will not say Ghana, you're careful. I will not say Nigeria, you're careful. But the realities of the matter is that French, luckily, yeah, English for no, the Omoyano, we don't tune. And yes, Sierra Leone, the whole hope, I had my debut. I was part, and the Ghana from phobia meeting Momudin, you know, upon Riamo, your course swear, my debut in the last year, your friend, 6 years, you know. Papa, Shemada Bio, enthusiasm, nearly, your friend is a free transport stadium, Kebuye, ending the Alex Koroma's regime and the APC's government, coming with his SPPC. I will be an Mr. Oba Minuano was shut it down. If not anything, I don't cry there, Papa. When the Sato Loco had no time 19 years, Jerry didn't better 19 years or Sato Loco. I could go photo. And in a man in a tree, Womuka. Now, when you chance after Utu Siaka, your friend is a Utu Sad Musa, a government, United Nations forecast no. Otu Strasa and Sad Musa, 25 years and 23-year-old boys. All free Kromonias or Messiah Ku, no Maquire, Edith Yanka Baba Ubecha 10 years, democracy restored. And the Sierra Leoneans have hope in nobody than Madabu. Papacho offer in the first term, a DNS you a free town. It's a big deal. Adam Abawa, Barry, no on your politician, what in the UK, the estate management, coalition government, no cofano. Because I see a two, you make Christians say, Yaya Jame Becon, Omdini Boom. Say, okay, Sanity Alliance, Yatias, for 3 years. For first 3 years, nearest reorganizing, near my leader for from now. O near you, and then what Timas crew, Echo the second term, ECOWAS Wakasa. And he said, what's one moment for a year? I'm looking at how Tinubu will fight with the insurgents called Boko Haram. Delta Force, Omo hunting no. Yansha how Nigerian troops. So what can the Nigerian troops and me Nigeria? They will fight them head on. They will fight them head on.
Nabana benya bread idea ba studio ama me wadama. Show bi ameno na shase we na wo Canada ntina memu no.
Hey, ECOWAS, the American.
Dabi enka chire. Watching bacho be here on studio.
ECOWAS in chairman sanction ba kwa ye adwuma. ECOWAS wo ma sanction before I go. Table no enu butu no. Bibia nim bio. Enye peduase and His Excellency Nanado. Omo ma goita 6 months. Me ba chawa ti bibibiom.
And the referee.
Anya ayi peduase Accra Declaration enoma Dumboya 4 months ema West African foreign ministers ekowa boy na asa akohia wo mu ema mu ye Alpha Conde owo himfa Alpha Conde Dumboya wa ye ni statesman mumye mano na kan no so na mo nchia kwan Alpha Conde wodi aye your friends Dumboya wodi aye Alpha Conde no afa no wa man ne die Dubai se papa jiwa home constitution nti ne tu ye chel se de si bu man no. From Conakry up to Sierra Leone border, Kamba, or the 6 months I asphalt road over 300 kilometers. Now, if I can't do him for, they should set up where.
And can be a BC around the year. Men can't go but around the Kababwa.
I will never propagate but country by country basis. Will be our problem. I'm talking about the French and the Cȯup, and I'm just saying it's more deserving.
And I make the baby, Baba. Oh yeah, Monsieur, yeah, then Casa Ghana, DBB.
Now say around that, Monsieur,
around the KB here, I can boy
and the Togo, and they say BTC. Meaning, say, a yadema senior, Udiade, or crashing opposition. I friend Olympio.
Savanos Olympio.
Chano. Wamana nya even Kromo Kraboda ma was say. Open so be lead the country. Now we open country be there. Eden a young man. In effect, was our banning is all my name Krumo until be fine wakoye. Anna or the Arawa went to me. The main opposition leader don't bring a Kofi go. So that kaya politically. Kofi Go was the opposition leader. Ma Eyadema pressure. Owie ye no e da ma frɛ no azu Kofi go the whole Togo we no be a onim nyansa ampa enso na o kan bigitum rather for who dem be join me party and am ma prime ministerial role na sela wo de wo party bra government ni mu na bo am ne ensolve and na Kofi go obe join ye o join wie ye no and also a prime minister Togo foi mo hwe se Kofi go be a wo fight opposition. At the same the case of His Excellency John Mama, Nana do Afreno, in the case of His Excellency, Nana do say, opposition leader, Sanatedia, Branebe Boame, Nanki, and your situation, His Excellency John Mama, I call join MPP no take a prime ministerial role, Sana Kofi Goyeno, omo Kofigo owie no when the 2 years prime minister we are no pam no ebepemne Togo nya opposition ni nua ankasa eyo da ya de man ba half caste no ona na ami general at the time of le papa no ne nua ketwa we say 4 watching it now. Are we saying say His Excellency the President of the Republic Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo Tinubu ene your friends Patrice Talon Alassane Ouattara Doumbouya West Africa ECOWAS omenim say Togo boy no say health deteriorating what them for more than 15 years.
Ono ankasa ni nua.
Yes, of course.
And watching us a jail 15 years.
Watching us a jail he said Mukobusa Nana Addo he's done His Excellency the President. Omunya aware na boy no say na ni nyina afra. Ono na ye ne papa ni backbone wo for no na at France woni Kabila Junior mo na mo kom disco. Mo ne Equatorial Guinea your friend is ne ba no na mo kom disco. When the gina homa ne papa but the papa wu ye no and I'm so we no why have cast in into no free your friend is say omo ekrom ho ne ma me free no military leaders at the time 4 by an the man the next thing you no watching brother boy na dem be pem ne Togo no
papa we no fan so ebe me watching na ebre nti wadarma watching na no pa meshia wo studio your bookie appointment. Your bookie appointment.
I'm soliciting for public support to be our. I say, I'm a look bad.
But I say, what you know, make your studio. Well, Al-Wahab Farouk.
Yeah, the yensem no best on her. Subscribe to channel and click on notification bell also. Like Jumadine and share ma afo Franso and Sa and Kabi. You be share in the next video. Macro.
Dedi kama mamena Pendream TV ase. Now so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, Pendream TV.